Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode here at the Portcast. Today, we have two special guests with us today, and they're going to tell us a little bit about themselves and a great organization that they belong to. Do you guys mind introducing yourself?
My name is Aquil Crooks. I'm the program supervisor of Street Safe Bridgeport.
And my name is Dennis Broadnax. I'm one of the outreach workers at Street Safe.
So, where are you guys from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Bridgeport, Connecticut, the East End, East Side.
And me, I grew up in Father Panic Village.
And for those who may not be familiar with Regional Youth Adult Social Action Partnership, do you mind explaining exactly what this organization is?
So the organization is called, for short, it's called RISAP. It's an organization that is there to empower the community and provide resources for the people who are mostly impacted by group and gang gun violence, addiction, and overdose, and mental health and other struggles.
There seems to be so many great programs here under the RISAP umbrella. Do you mind briefly talking about some of these great programs?
Okay, so I actually work for two organizations that are under two programs under this umbrella. One is the Juvenile Review Board, previously known as the Juvenile Review Board, is called the Youth Diversion Team, and that's a program that works with young adults ages 9 to 19. And it's a diversionary program, so if someone is arrested or being suspended for a lengthy period of time from school, they come in front of us, the police or the school counselor will send it to us, and instead of them having an arrest record or suspended, we have a circle, come up with some pro-social activities or recommendations that can help support them and to create a positive living atmosphere. And from there, monitor and give them case management. We work at a program called Street Safe,
which is our program designed for between 14 and 24, the at-risk youth that are, need some support and a way to find themselves, and really a mentorship program to lean towards somebody that they can cultivate and learn from that might have came from the same place they may be heading or at, and to give them the mentorship and guidance and support there for them.
And another component that we do in Street Safe is we do respond to hospital calls. So whenever there's someone who was shot or stabbed within the city of Bridgeport, we respond, the hospital gives us a call, and we respond for de-escalation for the hospital and support for the family. Typically, we're made of a team of people who are from Bridgeport, from different sides of town. So if something does happen at the hospital, one of us would know someone. So if it does get too crazy, instead of the police coming and making the situation a little bit more difficult, we're able to go up to them and have that conversation. The hospital just wants safety. The people just want answers. We know that HIPAA is still there, so we're able to kind of bridge that gap so that the hospital does have safety and the family has some of the answers that they need.
I like that concept of the outworkers being actually from the community. I feel that once these people see a familiar face, that it probably make your job a whole lot easier.
Typically, it can go both ways. I would say in this case, when we're reaching out to the community, absolutely, because what's essential is to make sure sometimes with our youth and the way that they're going and developing nowadays, they need a sense of direction and some know-how. And that helps a lot if you're from the inner cities, you know a lot of their family members or someone that they know. It's a trust thing. So this program is basically a mentorship program also. The trust component is really huge in it, and that would help out very much if you're from the communities such as ourselves, and it makes it easier. Now there are times when that's not always the case, and Aquil been here longer than me. He can elaborate on that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, being from the community is a double-edged sword, because on one side, from my personal experience, I've turned my life around. The stuff that I did do, the kids in the community somewhat seen that. They seen the transition. They seen the stuff that I used to do and some of the stuff that I am doing now. And they can come and respect me because they know that I'm not just some blow Joe that's coming in and going home at 5 o'clock at night and not really caring or not really a part of their system, their community, not knowing their struggles. They can see that I'm here. I was there with you are. I understand your struggles. But at the same time, it also can be like, hey, Like, are you really here for me, or are you just really here to get a job, to get a check? And now that's the double-edged sword where they feel like, well, this is a joke. This ain't really this. I know you. I know where you're from. Like, this is a game to you. It's probably gonna be a game.
And if I may, I just wanted to add something with it. What he said is very important because this component program is very important that you walk the talk. So they are looking, the young youth, saying, hey, if I know where you're from and you haven't changed, then how could you help me?
Integrity is everything in the job.
So that's very important, to walk with, because they out there. The streets see, people see, we known, whether you're known or not known, you're always going to be seen. Integrity is important. The eye in the sky is always watching. People are watching and looking because they want change and for the better.
Do you guys offer a mentorship program? And if so, what does that program look like?
So we do have a mentorship program. We have weekly groups every Wednesday. We check in with our clients daily, and it depends. The unique thing about our program, our mentorship program is based on the youth that we're serving. So we get John today, and his needs and the things that he has to have set up are going to be different from what we get from Bill tomorrow. So it's based and fit based on the individual.
Do you guys have a program where a kid may be displaced from school and you guys help them get back into school? And also, is there any type of resources in terms of helping with job employment?
So we do help with education. That's one of our main goal, is to assure that these kids get the education that they deserve. So we're in the schools, we're doing checkups at the schools, we're making sure that if they're out of school, we're getting them into programs. I've been to so many expulsion hearings, I've been to PPTs, like we literally sit with these kids through every step of the way. And typically some mentoring programs, they don't do that. Their phones go off. Ours don't go off. We're 24/7. We're a 24/7 mentor program, and we literally walk them through every step of life, and we have the experience to show them, like, hey, I f***ed up at this age, and I stopped going to school, and I know someone who did, and now they're 35 and 36, still trying to struggle and going through the same things that you're going through when you're 15 or 16. Do you want that to be your life? So we have the plus of having the experience on our side, to where we can actually show them something tangible to be like, well, hey, this isn't where you want to be at. Because my favorite line is, no crackhead said they wanted to get high. Do you think it just started? It started with different things and different steps along the way that led down that road.
What was it that made both of you guys want to be a part of this organization? Was there something that transpired in your life that said, hey, if I have the opportunity, I want to give back?
So for me, I've always wanted great for my community, but being where I come from, I was influenced by my environment. Although I did wrong, I've always wanted to do great by my community, but I did not get a chance at a younger age to mature and morph and do what I was supposed to do. So later on in life, I had to, go through some things and, go through things. And through my maturation, I've always made it a vow, like, the path that I was on, I don't want to see the next child have to do that. So me personally, I've always felt like, what better way can I do? I can't never go back and change what I did, but I can at least plant the seed in the next young man who might be peer pressured, might be under peer pressure, might be peer pressured, or influenced because there is no real model to look at. So I made it a vow that I'm not perfect, I'm not going to touch everybody, but if I could walk the walk first, knowing what they know where I come from, and really be blessed to change is definitely possible. And how can I do that? I have to start with making sure I do what's right by myself first, and then LOX, I call it, living off experience that I've done, reach out and give them all the support and think back in my memory bank, everything that I wasn't afforded the opportunity, or even if it was, where could I help the next young man? And I made it a vow, and Street Safe is a very dedicated program. One of the programs why I do love Street Safe, it's a 24-hour program. We don't give up on the youth for nothing. I mean, we've had youth that I've been working with for years, and we don't give up. They get incarcerated. Our caller tell us, listen, we're not giving up on them. Even if he get incarcerated and come back, we'll still take him back. Other programs, and I'm not throwing no program under the bus, our program is open door policy always. And we've always worked with 14 to 24, but our door is really basically open even with the hospital calls. I mean, I was just on a random hospital call last night. I'm not gonna get into the specifics, but it was nowhere near my age group, but Street Safe was there for them. And that's what, I mean, I like about this program. They're open arms with everything, and it's great.
And myself, I jumped into this work by total mistake, I would say, or total accident. I just came home from jail, and actually my Uncle Roland put me into another program, and I was just watching, and while I was in another program, we started developing and helping people. And the program was called Hang Time, and we're in it, and they actually gave me an internship there. And from that internship there led to me an opportunity with Street Safe. And I've been in love with the work ever since. I mean, so I would just say it's my past experience that drive me to do this work.
So seeing that you guys are both from the community and you actually go back to the community, what would you say is the number one contributing factor for the downfall of our youth in the community?
A lack of opportunity. And when I say a lack of opportunity, I mean they've given up on the youth. I'm gonna give you a prime example. One of my youth, I asked that same question that you said. I said, hey, why do you keep doing what you're doing? He was like, yo, you want me to keep it 100 with you? I said, yeah. He said, first of all, no one's listening to us. I'm speaking for myself and all the youth. They give up on us, they say one thing and then they don't do it. So what I gotta do now, we become lawless. We've taken the law in our own hand because you're not listening. All you keep saying is, why do you do this? We want to give you an opportunity. You give me an opportunity, bring me somewhere, talk blue in the face to me, then you don't really give me the support system that I need. The long-term, the long-term advancement. And I said, what is that? He said, man, I need a job. For example, don't give me a summer job. Because after you give me a summer job, I'm gonna be likely to be right back where I'm at. Set me on the right path. Give me a job like everybody else. The average person who you saying that you want me to be like doesn't have a summer job. They have either a career or at least a decent job. And that's what we're lacking. And I keep beating the drum on it. We're not gonna stop every single youth from doing what they do. But if we design a system that truly hold them accountable and give them an employment opportunity for real. I'm not talking about no summer job. And I'm not knocking summer jobs. I'm talking about give them an opportunity. The minimum wage is $15 an hour. The average youth is not even worth nowhere near when he become 18. He's been lawless in the street. He don't know what it look like to have an employment opportunity. That's why. Because if you don't give me an opportunity, I'm gonna go pick up a pack. I'm gonna scam, I'm gonna rob, I'm gonna go scheme, and I'm gonna create problems for other people on other sides of town doing things that you don't want me to do. That's what I do if you don't give me an opportunity.
And then part of, to piggyback off of that, there's an age period where we're losing the kids to the streets, and like he said, the lack of opportunity, right? That age of 12 to 15, you want to work, you want to do, but you can't.
Absolutely.
You can't do any of that. So what do you want me to do? I need to make income. I need to make ends meet. I want to look fly. My mom probably working a minimum wage job. My father's probably in jail, or vice versa. They both can be in jail at this point in the stage. And how am I supposed to create income? How am I supposed to make myself value of some kind of value? I need it. I have one kid who screamed to me for a year and a half, I just want to work. Sir, you're 15, you can't work. You gotta go through working paper. You gotta wait till the summertime to get a job. But what am I supposed to do until then?
So let's talk about some of the positive things that you're seeing happening in the community due to programs such as Street Safe.
Some of the positive things that and they can be small positive things, and that comes with some of the youth that they feel supported. Where we have some kids who, not to call them kids, some young adults who don't get the family support at home, and to be able to tell us like, hey, thank you. Like, you know, some of the things that you're doing, I don't normally get. Like one kid I had, we brought him a cake for his birthday. Never got a birthday cake before, so that was a moment in time for him to where, like, you know, it was real. Like, thank you, I appreciate it. So it's like little moments like that that are positive to me that, you know, always stick with me.
Absolutely. And one more if I want to add it. One time we did, and because he brought up something to support. So Street Safe took just a regular ferry, and we brought the kids to the ferry, and you know, some of our kids have never even been out of the projects. So we bring this young kid on the thing. He said, I've never even been out of Bridgeport, not even my area. So when he was fascinated when he got to Long Island Sound, seeing the guy with his son and his Ferrari boats and all that. He was like, I've never seen nothing like this. And that was positive, and that is an assurance that we lack the basics and showing the kids another side, that there is another side.
And now piggybacking off of him, he making me think, another positive component that has happened that I've seen is we're able to give them a voice somewhat. So there's times where we meet with legislators, with the Senate, we'll bring them up to Hartford and allow them to speak and voice some of their problems and their concerns. And a lot of them never been connected to where that they could ever feel that it's foreign to say, well, hey, we're going to the state capitol. Hey, we're going to see a representative. Us as adults, we're like, well, hey, that's just a city councilman. That's just a state rep. But to these kids, these are people that are put on pedestals. These are people that they don't even feel that are in the same realm or life as them. They don't even think that they can achieve these positions. And by connecting them, we're allowing them to see that these people are just human as we are.
Absolutely.
So you guys are, one, activists in the community, two, outreach workers for Street Safe. And so it's not just a job for you. What else does this mean for you?
It's personal for me. Like, I do my job, but outside of my job after that, because people know who I am already and where I come from and where I'm trying to head at. So I make it personal. Like, I think it's my vow to leave it better than what it was, how I came into it and help affected it. So I might go above and beyond on every other thing that the job is not required to. And that may look like helping anybody who's struggling economically, financially, pro-socially, or even like ear to ear. I might be off the clock, but if it's a family that's struggling and they need some support and some uplift, I'm just there for them. And because that's the main important thing. Sometimes, yes, always money is important, but if people know that you care, then they'll be there.
You guys are both from the community. You're out here doing great work in the community. And at the end of the day, the job doesn't stop for you guys because of those reasons. So when you're on let's say the south, east, northwest, and you come across a kid that you guys have mentored and you see that that kid is on the right path, what's the gratification that you guys get from that?
Oh, very gratifying. I had a young man that was a knucklehead. Man, I'm very proud of him. I'm not gonna mention his name. And so Spike Lee's wife came down and we had, just to back it, he was very troubled. We worked with him for at least a couple years. He got his education together. He's got a good job. Spike Lee's wife came down and we had a catalyst downtown. He was awarded a partial scholarship through that. He's integrated back in the plush of things where that, like, I can't, every time I see him now, where he work at in the school system and where he come from, I don't want no credit for it, because that's not the gratification I'm looking for to say, look at what I did. My gratification comes from knowing where he come from and where he was at. It's not how you start, but how you finish it. His thing is not finished, but every time I see him, I just look at him like, wow, you're working, you help other people, you help children, you come from being a knucklehead, you got your education, doors is open for you, and then you are looking back as we supposed to do the main goal and help and pull somebody up out of their hurt and pain.
As you said the question, it comes to mind, there's this one kid I had, and I remember going to a BPT with him, and they were like, hey, you missed like 35 days every year of school since the 3rd grade. And we're now in the 11th grade. So now I'm fighting for him, and I'm like, listen, we shouldn't even be in a competition trying to penalize him for missing all these days where he wasn't even old enough to make these decisions to do that. Not knowing that he was struggling with homelessness, not knowing he was struggling with one of his parents with addiction, not knowing his circumstances, we just, like, you know, the school system was so quick to, you know, kind of penalize him for some of the circumstances that he was going through. And then fast forward, he graduates high school. He works for housing now. Like, this is a young man who, like, I watched him grow up and grow through the program, and to see the amount of change and amount of growth that I've seen and see him accomplish the certain goals that I've seen him accomplish, like, I can't even imagine, like, after the stuff that I did and changed my life around and started accomplishing goals, and the gratitude that I feel doesn't even measure to the amount of gratitude I feel watching them succeed and go through things.
If there's a kid or a young adult, or say someone who wants to volunteer, how can they reach out and get in contact with you guys?
You can reach out to us we're on social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook under Street Safe Bridgeport, under no space for Street Safe Bridgeport for Instagram and for Facebook. You can reach us on my telephone number, 203-383-0554. We also have a website. You can check us out under the Street Safe website, which is www.streetsafe.org.
Main building.
And then we also we're at 2470 Fairfield Avenue, 3rd floor. That's the borough's community center. And the RISAP also has a website, and we have a component on their website as well.
And you can touch us if you see us on the streets. We're out in the communities.
We're out in the community Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, whenever it's no rain. We have our group on Wednesday, so.
Well, I would like to thank both of you brothers for the great work that you're doing here in the community, and also taking time off your busy schedule to come here on the platform to talk about it. I wish you guys nothing but the best.
Thank you. Appreciate you for having us.